DonInLondon, hello. November 2nd, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, it could have been anything. My behaviour, trying to be perfect, and never so. And if alcohol couldn't fix the hole inside me, or help me overcome the fear, I would cross-addict into another ism, like workaholic, relationshipaholic, gymaholic, you name it. Anything to fix the fear inside. And, you know, it's strange really. I realise these days I didn't really understand what was going on with fear. I knew I'd lived with fear for a long time, but I didn't know how much it dominated my life. And only in recovery from addiction, that is, to be in recovery one day at a time, never fully recovered, because once addicted, always addicted. And it's a place of balance when we find sobriety, not drinking, abstinence, and all of those horror words which come into the vocabulary of alcoholics in recovery. Abstinence, being sober, not taking the edge off, not trying to fix anything, not doing this and that and the other to try and feel better when it's at extremes and out of balance. So these days it's good to be sober one day, this one precious day we have to make life work, or to live life and work at it and have life experience. Life is the greatest teacher. And I'm in a place of relief and happiness to be able to say that, so it's like a deep sigh of relief. And November 2nd, 2009, the 11th month of the year. Doesn't time fly? 2009 seems to have gone by very, very quickly. Anyway, what got me sober? Well, a fellowship called Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't speak for it, never can, never will, and happily never will speak for the fellowship, but I'll share from the fellowship how that experience, strength and hope, helps me keep sober a day at a time. And the fellowship of AA, full of unique, authentic people, always. Unique, authentic people with one similarity, and that's a desire not to drink on a daily basis, and hopefully life works. So I will share the AA preamble or statement of intent here. And yes, it's important to me to share it because it slows me down into the moment of being here right now. And it says this: Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and to help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So, sharing the message of experience, strength and hope, I can only share my message. I can share how it helps me, and it's not my way to undermine anybody else's anonymity. Anonymity is the foundation which enables many people to find their truth. So if you find the truth of living, that is the spiritual connection to what is going on. And for me, anonymity in the rooms of the fellowship provides a sanctuary to find the truth. So that's all to the good. And what I share here is readings from AA, like the Daily Reflections, this book. It's a page a day, and there are 12 steps of action in the 12-step program. Sounds familiar, I'm sure, to most people. And those 12 steps are represented one a month in that book, Daily Reflections. So each month there is a new step. And what I've been doing with the videos this year is sharing one step a month. And for November, step 11 is, as it reads in this little card here, 12 steps and 12 traditions. It says, step 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understand Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. What does that mean? Well, I use this book to illustrate 12 steps and 12 traditions And it's like a program of action for life. It all works in one day. Each and every step is a way of living, how to live life, and they become second nature to us. So step 11, it says here, prayer and meditation are principal means of conscious contact with God. And everybody has their own understanding of God. So your version, understanding, unique and authentic to you, is what is most important. So that is it. It's your understanding. There are 6.5 billion people on the planet, each with an understanding of God, whether we're atheist, agnostic, or believers. We AAs are active folk enjoying the satisfactions of dealing with the realities of life, usually for the first time in our lives, and strenuously trying to help the next alcoholic who comes along. So it isn't surprising that we often tend to slight serious meditation and prayer as something not really necessary. To be sure, we feel it is something that might help us to meet an occasional emergency, but at first many of us are apt to regard it as a somewhat mysterious skill of clergymen, from which we may hope to get a second-hand benefit, or perhaps we don't believe in these things at all. To certain newcomers and to those one-time agnostics who still cling to the AA group as their higher power, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, claims for the power of prayer may, despite all the logic of experience and proof of it, still be unconvincing or quite objectionable. Those of us who once felt this way can certainly understand and sympathise. So prayer and meditation, what does it do for us? Well, there's only one way to find out, actually, and that's to start to understand what is prayer and meditation. And in this book, November 2nd, Daily Reflections, it says here, the other steps can keep most of us sober and somehow functioning, but step 11 can keep us growing, and that's about living in the moment and growing our spiritual selves. A sober alcoholic finds it much easier to be optimistic about life. Optimism is the natural result of my finding myself gradually able to make the best rather than the worst of each situation. As my physical sobriety continues, I come out of the fog, gain a clearer perspective, and am able to determine what courses of action to take. As vital as physical sobriety is, I can achieve a greater potential for myself by developing an ever-increasing willingness to avail myself of the guidance and direction of a higher power, be it the AA group or God. My ability to do so comes from my learning and practicing the principles of the AA program. The melding of my physical and spiritual sobriety produces the substance of a more positive life. And the gift of all of this really is simple. With prayer and meditation, prayer is often about listening, and meditation is about reflection. So listening and reflection doesn't mean we're praying to God hard with words. It could be that we're listening to God, all good conscience, with our listening rather than our speaking. So it's a very interesting and most fulfilling exercise to be able to understand what it is to pray, to listen, and to share, and to meditate, to reflect on what is going on in our lives, so we get some more positive shape and get out of the worry and concern and the fear into the courage, faith and confidence to face the day. And for me, when I feel, I'm just checking the time because I know what I can do, I can overshoot, when I feel that I need acceptance around my life situation, I nearly left my lines there. Oh, I don't have lines. I'd live all the way through these. There is no set pattern to them. The most important thing for me today, when it comes to prayer and meditation, is the serenity prayer, which is all about acceptance of what is and not what was. So what is it today? So for me, when I say to God, and it's to God, the God of your understanding, and there are 6.5 billion definitions of what God may be currently. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is simply and always for me just for today.